This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2011 Salem travel trailer, model 27 RBEC. Okay, so this is not a floor plan or a sales video. This is a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So obviously you have a regular crank down stabilizer, scissor type. It takes a 3/4 inch ratchet, or excuse me, 3/4 inch crank or a 3/4 inch socket on a drill. All right, you got a manual awning, outside speakers, power of course. This should be pass-through storage here. Okay, excuse my camera work here. Okay, pass-through storage. You can see you got your crank here and your awning rod there, and back in the back is your dump hose, that sort of thing. Okay. So you have a power tongue jack on it. If you ever get into trouble, you can pop this plug out of here, and you can crank it from there if you need to get yourself out of trouble. You have a deep cycle marine battery, and you have 2 LP tanks that are full. Okay. That's the furnace vent right there. Your city water hookup is right here. That's the most common way to get water to the trailer. If you happen to be camping somewhere that does not have city water, there's no plumbing on the campsite, for example, you can pre-fill this fresh water tank right here and use the onboard pump to pump the water. Everything will work as though you have city water, you just be pumping from the tank. Okay. This is the service panel for your refrigerator. You don't really need to go in there. This is your water heater here. Alright. So it's thing to remember is this is the drain plug right here. So that's where you would drain it at. Okay. You have a 30 amp power cord that pulls out of the trailer. Keep in mind that generally speaking, when they're new, the manufacturers state that you should inspect the roof every 90 days. Still, you want to go up there and look at the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation anywhere. Still do a regular inspection on it, just to protect your trailer. You want to make sure there's no cracking or separation with any of the sealants up there where water could get through. You want to make sure that none of the roofing attachments or roofing material was damaged by low branches or road debris flying up there or anything like that. So you just give it a good look over. Okay? Alrighty, let me get inside here. Okay. So, as you can see, this is a 2011, but it looks like new. It's been very well taken care of. Okay. Just looking around myself to see what we have here. Okay. So we'll start right here. Where you can see we're by the sink here in the galley. Alright, to turn your water pump on, right here. That will pump water out of your fresh water tank. It's also used to winterize the trailer. Okay. The only time you need to turn the pump on for pumping water is if you don't have city water. Then you have your levels here: battery charged, fresh is full, black is empty, gray is empty. So they graduate up in 1/3 increments, of course. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray and the black tank. All right, just looking to see what we have here. Okay, so these you're going to light with a lighter. So you just 3 burners and 3 knobs, and then this is the oven. So you're just going to go to light and then actually light it with a grill lighter. This oven looks like it's never been used, but we see that all the time. Now keep in mind there's a pilot light back there all the way to the back. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up here to the knob and you'll go to pilot, and then you depress it, keep it depressed. Then with a long necked grill lighter, you light the pilot light back there, okay? After it lights, you hold this in for another 10 seconds or so to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature with it, and it cycles as an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, of course, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay. This is your LP gas detector right here. It should always be green like it is. If it's not, get it serviced. It's important, obviously. Your range hood here, fan and a light. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Okay, your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator. That means it'll run on 110 AC or it'll run on LP gas. Okay, so let me show you how that works. You turn it on here. Once you turn it on, the light will actually go on here. Okay. Now the most common way to run it is like you push this button into auto. Auto means electric. The reason it's called auto because if it can't find electricity, it'll automatically switch over to LP gas, right? Or a good illustration is if you're leaving early in the morning on a hot day to go exploring for the day, an hour after you leave, your campground power goes out. Well, it'll sense that, and it'll switch it to gas automatically and light it on gas. That way you'll won't spoil your food. So that's generally where you put it. If you're just traveling down the road, for example, you can just put it right on gas. If that check light comes on, it means it's faulted. But autos, generally speaking, is the way to go. Okay. One other thing to know for this thing is called a thermocouple here. Let me just get it free here so you can see what it is. This is the thermocouple right here. You can see by the sticker, the higher you go with it, the cooler it gets. So let me just set this down for a second, please. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put it in here. If it pops out, just stick it back in there. And you want to put it on this fin. Let me see if I can go up a little bit. And then clip it on there. And the higher you go, the better. If it's cold outside, maybe you want to back it down a bit. But generally speaking, you're going to have it up all the way. Okay, so that's gas absorption refrigerator. Now, this device here is the power converter. Okay, this converts AC to DC power. So you have regular household type circuit breakers, 120 AC, right here. I'm sorry, let me get a better shot for you. And there they are right there, just like the ones you have at home probably. And it's labeled right here. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. So you got regular 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled right here. Keep in mind these 240s here, you can see them, those are the masters. So if you have a wild power surge or something like that in the 12 volt side of the converter goes out, always look here, because that's where the problem is going to be almost always. It was just doing what it's supposed to do, protecting that side. Okay. Like I said, these are all labeled here. Plus, there's a little LED next to each one, and if any of these blow, they'll actually light up. You can see it through this tinted plastic here. And one other thing, this is a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery up front needs. As long as you're plugged into shore power, it will keep your battery charged. It'll send up there exactly what it needs. If the battery's fully charged, it'll just trickle a couple amps up there to maintain it. If it's low, it can send 10 amps or whatever it needs to charge the battery, okay? So when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will be charging the battery. And then when you're plugged in, this power converter charges the battery, okay? All right, let's see if I can get on my feet now. Here, hold on. A tight space, there we go. Okay, so let's see what else we have. You can drop the table down, of course, and put it on these cleats and turn this into a bed. This here is probably a jackknife. Yes, this jackknife's flat. You just grab it down here and jackknife it flat, so there's another bed. Detectors up here, the batteries work in both of them. You got TV hook up here. If you wanted to, you could hang a bracket on there, whatever you want to do, a swing out bracket. This is your emergency window. It's very simple. You just push this all the way through. Let me get this. The seal's kind of stuck here. I don't want to break it. Let me set this down for a minute. Hold on, please. I'm going to nudge that open on the outside off camera. I don't want to push it so hard I break something, but it'll be free when you pick it up. It looks like it's never been opened. If you do use it, you push this all the way through, and then you grab this red tab and pull the screen out, and then you can exit that way. Okay? Alright. So you do have some storage underneath the bed, of course, here. That leads to the front storage, to the pass-through storage. Your thermostat is right here. Off, cool, and furnace are your options. Always keep the fan on auto. And it's very simple. Turn on cool, drop the thermostat, and your air conditioner will come on. Hit furnace, raise the thermostat, and the furnace will come on. Okay. So, you have a sound system here. It's a bit dated, but it still has the usual stuff. It probably doesn't have any Bluetooth on it because of the year, but it does play CDs and DVDs. So it's got an SD slot and a USB slot. So okay, and then of course this TV is right here. Now, if you ever want to change this out, you can do it. You remove this panel right here. There's going to be a hole cut right to the TV. Then in one of these drawers I saw some Allen wrenches somewhere. Hold on. Oh, where did I see them now? Let me look around a bit. Well, I'll make sure there's one here for you. Once again, I don't know exactly where they went, but it's a long Allen wrench, and you can reach the screw and unscrew it, and then this TV will come off. Just so you know how to get it. I'll make sure that the Allen wrench is around here somewhere. Okay, so let's see here. What else do we have? We have some storage underneath the bench seats, the dinette benches. Of course, speakers. The next thing to know is in the bathroom. Obviously, you've got a fan. Always run the fan with the shower. Also, if you've got a bunch of people over, and it's the time of year where you get condensation from your breath, you can turn this fan on, open up the lid and turn the fan on, and it'll pull all the condensation right out of the trailer. Keep that in mind. A lot of people that don't realize that if they've got a condensation happening, but you can pull it out with that fan. Shower looks like any other shower. Sink works like any other sink. This is a GFCI here. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through this GFCI, even the one on the outside. So keep that in mind. If you pop it outside, you're still going to set it here. This is the flush lever for your toilet. The thing to remember about these toilets is they have to have water and chemical in them. The black tank is directly below, right? So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. Then you'll come in here, you'll put 1 dose of chemical in the bowl. Then you'll pull the lever forward and let about a gallon of water or more go into the black tank below. Then you're all set. You're ready to use it. Let's say you're gonna stay another week at the campground, but you had to dump your tank, your black tank. You would do that, of course. Now it's empty. So before you use the toilet again, you would dump a dose of chemical and about a gallon of water in there. You can't use it dry. If you do, the smell will be terrible, and also it can get clogged up. So always remember that. If you don't do it, that's one of those things you'll only not do once. So trust me on that. Okay. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the seals on the roof. Any place you see caulk or sealant from the factory, you want to look at it. And right now this is de-winterized. It's in camping mode right now. The antifreeze has been purged from the system and replaced with fresh water, so it's all ready to be camped in. Okay? Thank you.